So Bhaiya, the next segment which I really wanted to cover was elements, the tatwas in Vedic astrology, because when it comes to elements and tatwas, you have a very strong grip on it. And I want to study as a student of Jyotisha. I know elements holds a very important role, and particular planet going into a particular tatwa, how it affects into a person, um, their characteristics, their features. It is very important, and it is very fascinating to see, because why I wanted to do this segment is because lately what I'm seeing is a person having 4 planets in Taurus. So a lot of earthy element is seen in the chart. Sometimes you see 4 planets or 5 planets or 3 planets going into the water sign, including the Atma Karak, which we just covered in the last segment. So when we talk about tattvas, when we talk about elements, how should we study that? And what is the balance form of tattvas? When you see in a chart in front of you, when can you say that this person or this he or she has a balance energy flowing into their chart? So how you see that? I want to learn more on that from you.
I must compliment you for this beautiful question.
Thank you. Thank you, Mihir.
No, if somebody is understanding deeply,
Yeah.
then only he can or she can understand this point, that how am I balancing?
Balance. Yeah.
So I said I really compliment you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mihir. Yeah, because it is a very important segment, especially when you are analyzing a soul's journey in front of you. So going 4 planets or stellium happening in your chart in a particular sign, in a particular element, there has to be a reason. And if the soul is not resonating in that way, then how you and me can help them to behave better? That is, which is always a very important part. I find it in
That is
myself
why I
that
said,
we should do.
yes. To understand the element, we need to understand the elements or the tattvas. There are 4 in number. Like the sequence of planet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. They all move in this sequence. 1 is fire, 2 is earth, 3 is air, 4 is water, again 5 is fire, earth, air and water, so on and so on.
Yeah.
Fire representing both extremes, air representing both extremes.
Right.
Now both extreming meaning what? In the last segment we talked about the environment.
Right.
The environment is very important of a particular planet. Element is one of the most important part of understanding
That
the environment.
Yeah. Agree.
One of the most important part, because it plays a major role in changing the nature of the planet,
Yeah.
in enhancing the nature of the planet,
Yeah.
in destroying the nature of the planet.
Destroying, yes.
By now understand briefly what elements mean. When I talk about fire,
Yeah.
I am talking about extremes in both manner. First, fire is creativity.
Right.
The extreme is anger.
Right.
I am creating a relationship, nurturing a relationship, bringing up my child, painting a nice picture, doing a very difficult task, very difficult, having new ideas, growing. The energy behind all this is the energy of fire.
Fire. Yeah.
Negative aspect of it becomes the fire that burns, kills, destroys. So it's both ways.
Absolutely.
It has an oscillation of a different vibration. It has a gap of oscillation. It can be a good fire of creativity. It can be the bad fire of destruction. I am oscillating between two. My karmas has made me, let's say, where I am. But I have to reach the zenith. The fiery element, what is needed to be done? To be calm, yet to be creative. Not to be aggressive, yet to be extremely energetic. This is true. When we talk about sun's exaltation in Aries, we're talking about the creative aspect of the art. It should leave a mark on this. Same thing happens if that person becomes high-headed. Instead of being humble, he becomes high-headed. Instead of becoming helping towards people, she starts to become arrogant. Both representing sun, but both oscillating in a different level.
Frequency, yes.
This is the theory of karma. That I have a choice. I can be good, I can be bad. When most of the people say that, okay, what could have been done? My stars are like this. That is why the reason I do not believe in astrology.
Right.
Because I do not believe in astrology, so I did not make it as a profession.
Right.
You cannot make a profession of something you don't believe. I genuinely don't believe it. You know it. Most of the people know it.
Right.
Because I feel that if I am oscillating at a bad frequency or I am born with a negative aspect of fire, what is stopping me to change? People don't have the will. If they don't have the will, then follow something that I'm just going to tell you, and you will be fine. First of all, your food should be taken care. Have sattvic food if you are too fiery or aggressive. South Indians love curd and rice. It is one of the most sattvic food to have.
And our Punjabi brothers?
We like to have all sorts of
fire.
Fire. Everything should be spicy. Everything should be, the palate has to be, little spice. Mirch masala, everything. That is why we have a folk dance also, Bhangra. Have you seen? It is so representative. It is high on energy. You are just, and Bhangra music, Bhangra dancing, Bhangra, they are full of life. Yet they are aggressive people.
Yeah.
They are hardworking. This part Guru Sahib understood. He understood that what I am creating is strong fire. Because मैं 1 से सवा लाख को कैसे लड़ा सकता? How will I make 1% fight and kill 1.5 or 1.5 lakh people or 1.25 lakh people? Only if I have the courage.
Fire.
But I have to have the discipline. Sow the turban. Sow the covering of the head. The Mars, the Ketu, the exalted sun have all been taken care of.
Yeah.
So I am strong, but I am in control. I am strong, I am in control. This is true fire. I am strong, I am in control. It's just like a very, very experienced soldier who's a sharpshooter. And he's aimed and he's just waiting for the order. His months of preparation will go waste if he's not given the order. But if he's not given the order, he will not take it.
Absolutely.
This is true fire. Discipline. Courage with discipline. Creativity. People generally misunderstand it as anger. That's the negative part. And it is oscillating between all this.
Bhaiya, if I interrupt you, if you may allow me, that is why when you say about energy, fire, and the control, what I have seen, Saturn somehow in the Martian sign working very well. I know people take it in a different way, but what I have seen in my personal experience, it works very well.
Aman, this was the part that we need to come to, because this was also a part of your question. When the energies are balanced, that makes the planet more strong. You cannot say, I have fire, put me in fire again.
Right.
I have earth, put me into something creative. I have tenacious. Earth is tenacious, working,
Right.
materialistic. Fire is ideas, intellect, creativity. So I have the combination of too much of hard work with creativity. What will I become?
A good package to go ahead.
But provided I know how to handle it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is the main question, which not many of us ask.
Karmas are more important. That is why I said, no matter what you are born with, what is important is your karma.
Right. Absolutely.
A combination of fire and water at times is excellent. Sun in Scorpio. More stronger, more famous people. Then sun in exaltation, sun in fire.
This is for the third time you have mentioned this. Why, Bhaiya, can you explain more on that? Why you see in that way?
You see, Scorpio is a very intellectual sign.
Yeah.
Yet it is a very close sign. You can either become a very great schemer or somebody who's scared of a lot of things.
Right.
You are scared, this will happen to me, that will happen to me. Or
Fears.
unknown fears.
Jay.
Or you can be very intellectually strong. Sun is the planet of intellect, knowledge, understanding.
Jay.
And it has got all the fire in it. Here it comes to Scorpio, where the ideas can be implemented and the aggression is taken care of. It is in water. So you'll find that people born on those months in November are at times become famous.
Right.
They are known. They have very good connections because they have the art and the wisdom to handle aggressive situations, aggressive people, because people in power and position are generally highly placed aggressive. So when you have people who know a lot of people at the right places, you'll find generally sun either debilitated or sun in Scorpio, generally.
Yeah.
The combination of the element is a yoga in itself.
Right.
You have a very strong fiery planet in a beautiful air and making that fire blow out of proportions. Or that energy is channelized into creativity and you have some very strong foreign services people who represent India at a very strong level.
Right.
And their gift of the gab is like this. They answer like this and their answers are very particular, right on, they hit the nail. As example of a very strong Mars being taken care of in the most possible diplomatic manner.
Right.
The energies, how they are balanced, are more important. I am already too fiery. What do I need fire for? Sun in Aries, what do I need it for? Just because Shastra has said it is exalted. It is said for the journey of the soul, not on the earthy level. The elements are for the earthy level, not for the soul, because I've lived my birth there. So Navamsa, it doesn't hold much of a difference where sun is in water, sun is in air, whatever has happened has happened. But for this birth, the elements are more important. How am I progressing? What is my life? What are my karmas? Elements are very important when you come to earthy aspect of the horoscope. Likewise, I said fire. Likewise, I said air. Earth, we talked about tenaciously. There are a lot of things written in different books. It's scattered, is not easily available. It's scattered at a lot of places. But in the old texts, they do mention it. And they do mention it in details also at certain places because they use it quite often.
Yeah.
Like Sun, I told you in Scorpio, people will now start to analyze Sun in Scorpio and they'll find, oh, yes, it's something different.
But Bhaiya, I have again question here. Sun and Scorpio, but going into a airy house, then how it will affect the planet
I told
and the
you
Rashi?
there are different aspects to it.
Right.
Like we talked about connections. Having an airy connection means the connection is there for a very smaller moment.
Okay.
Having this combination in the earthly houses, the connection are there from ages. You know the person. Like your father, I know him. He's got friends from his younger days, before his marriage. And they are very famous people.
Yeah.
But his associations have been long. Airy associations are very, very small, very fixed, very temporary. Earthy associations are friends.
Right.
So these things make a difference. A fiery association in a fiery sign, in a fiery house will give you very less friends. You have no time for them. But on the other side, if the beautiful Venus has been taken care of, which already is water, so there lies again a problem. Let me share an example. Venus exalted is not so good in a male chart. Why? Because Venus is water. Pisces is water. You have too much of water. Procreation at times becomes difficult.
Yeah. Or one might exploit that in a different manner.
In a different manner too. But we find that Venus exalted male, they do not get married easily. Or they have issues in marriage.
Yeah.
The same reason. The elements are mismatched. You water with water. The element is mismatched. Same thing happens with, people say my moon is in Cancer. It's in own sign. It's not so good. You become too emotional.
Right.
At times, if the moon is weak and other aspects are not so good, you become an emotional havoc. You get into depression easily.
Okay.
Moon in water. 4, 8, 12. You understand? Things
Absolutely.
become different. Now, having the same element with the same nature of the planet is a very, very not. You need to handle a lot of things in your life. Moon could be in a practical sign. Why not in Capricorn? Why not in Taurus? Here, the extreme is you become too stubborn. You don't listen to people.
On the earthy element, right?
Keep listening to people. Both ways there are problems. Moon in Cancer, you just keep listening to everybody.
Yeah, right.
Moon in earthy sign, you hardly listen to anybody. I am the best. I know everything. I'm right.
So how to balance it then?
Karmas. This is what Lord Krishna told Arjun. Karmas. Understand the chart. Then decide your karmas. If you have too much of water, don't be too emotional. Put Mars into your life. I tell a lot of people with moon and watery sign, go jog every morning. So they ask me what kind of, even astrologers ask me, what kind of a remedy is this? I said, why don't you do it for 3 months and then come back and tell me that your moon is balanced? Because the excess water element in your body, you are burning now. You are introducing more fire, more energy into your moon. Once you start introducing Mars and energy into your moon, the watery aspect will be taken care of. So what was wrong in our masters telling us that get up before sunrise, do yoga, do meditation, do some physical exercise? It becomes a thumb rule for everybody. If you have weak Mars, then it is balanced. If you have excess Mars, then also it is balanced.
Balance.
So this becomes a remedy for every human being.
Everyone.
They get up early, start with your Surya Namaskar, pranayam, exercises, your breathing techniques, whatever you follow. If you don't follow, please start following. And don't take it as a religion because Hinduism has said it, so we will not do it, or this will do it, or take it as a scientific belief and start doing it. And after that, do some sort of a jogging exercise, something, so that your water element is balanced. And if you have excess of Mars, excess of physical energy, that is also balanced at the start of the day. So you feel less angry. And if you are too lethargic or emotional, then the best part is do this in the morning, that it balances your emotional aspect of the mind in the first part of the day. So you have energy built up so that your emotional content comes down and your energy level increases.
Right.
Again, I humbly submit, Hinduism is not a religion, it is a way of life. And if you want to balance your planets, especially the fiery energy, get up in the morning and do exercise.
What about, we have very less talked about the air element. So like, even if we take the example of current transits right now, we don't make current transit videos. So lot of energy in the airy sign and lot of energy in the fire sign with Rahu, Sun, Mercury, all happening. And Saturn.
Lot of intellectual talks are happening. Business deals are going on. Countries are, in spite of the war, are progressing. People are not too concerned about what is happening in the war, or more concerned about the price rise of oil. They are in their own domesticated way of getting deals done. This is the time of dealing. People are after COVID. This is the right time to get back to your work, to your business. Intellectual work. Students are getting back slowly to work. May not suddenly get back because too much of air causes distraction. It's like too much of air happening, too much of thought coming into you at one time. Your ideas are not focused.
Indecisiveness is more.
Indecisiveness is more because you are thinking too much. Overthinking, indecisiveness is because of overthinking. Too much thing is clouding. So a lot of things are happening in the country also. A lot of things are happening internationally also. And everything is happening so quick. Recently, it was unfortunate. We have droids in Delhi, people pelting stones from their houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on the Ram Navami day. It was something that was not needed, but it happened.
Oh.
So these are the things that happen. In the fit of rage, they did something. Now they are regretting. This happens.
So again, the fire element going both ways.
Both ways. It goes both ways. The different side is happening. I told you internationally, a lot of deals are happening. In spite of the war and everything, even the oil price is going up. Still, things are happening. Countries are progressing. Work is happening. Nothing is affecting. This happens when a lot of, planets come into the fiery sign. The decisions are quick. Aggressive.
Especially
military action happening. A lot of police action being seen everywhere. This will happen for a few more days.
So again, to understand how to
sorry to cut you. These days the digestive issues will also be at rise because of the fiery element.
Tell me about it. Oh yes, big time.
So a lot of people would complain about that things are not happening the way they were happening. People will be losing weight. People would be thinking too much.
And I think it will happen more near the eclipse time, which is almost here.
Eclipse is not a good time for people with weak moon. People with moon little weak should take care of these things. Start disciplining your time before the eclipse on.
Right. Right. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Moon
So
being the most mutable, moon being the most mutable, any eclipse happening anywhere, it affects the moon.
Hmm.
Even if it is a solar eclipse, it affects the moon. Because moon draws its strength from sun.
Sun. And this is very logical. Yeah. So again, the understanding of karmas plays a vital role in balancing the energy of the tattvas in the chart. Right?
Excellent. Yes, very briefly, very precisely put.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhaiya. I think the audience will get a good, because this is a very important topic. Not many people emphasize more on the tattvas, and you have a very strong grip on it. But I was very curious to know how to balance them. So I think it will be a good segment to them. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.